This is the way. Hi there, Star Wars collectors. Welcome to another Bosk's Bounty video, and welcome to my review of the Star Wars Vintage Collection Mandalorian from the awesome TV show The Mandalorian that was on Disney Plus. Stunning program, loved every minute of it. Really went back to the original trilogy roots in my opinion. And at last we have some figures, and I say at last because it seems like ages since we had any new figures from the Vintage Collection. It's probably even way back before Christmas that I got the previous wave of the Shadow Trooper and all that, the Leia figure and the Jawa. That was the previous wave before this. It's been ages, but you know, we're in March now and we finally do have this figure for you to take a look at. Now I can tell you already just by looking at him, he looks absolutely stunning. So let's just have a look at the packaging real quick before we get the figure out itself. Just get Bosk out of the way. So this image here was much speculated. I kind of sort of suggested on many occasions this would be the image that they went for. This was the image that was actually released in the promo shots of the Mandalorian TV program, just showing you what it is all going to be about. And you know, when we saw that, you know, just like everybody else, I couldn't wait to see what this show was going to be all about. And I do like the Mandalorian in his original outfit. Of course, we do need the Beskar version as well, but I do like the rustic look of him in that shot there. And as you can see, he is looking amazing in his bubble there. And I can already see, before I get him out of the packet, this is going to be a phenomenal figure. But look at that. I do like the orangey brown colour that they've used for the name pill and behind the figure. We've got the Mandalorian in there. We've got the Mandalorian logo at the top there on that Star Wars chase, and the Kenner logo at the bottom there. Quick look at the back of the card. So you've got the remainder of the wave there, which I also do have to review for you. This one is VC166. Bottom of the card, look at that, all that space taken up there with just a load of gumph that we do not need. They could really improve the back of these cards, couldn't they? We've got Disney and Hasbro logo at the bottom there, Vintage Collection logo of course as always. So this is one of my favourite cards already for the Vintage Collection. Stunning looking card, and yeah, let's get the figure out and take a look. Alright then guys, so here he is out of the packaging, the Mandalorian. And as you can see, Hasbro have done an absolutely phenomenal job with this figure. To think that this is a 3.75 inch action figure. Now, I did have the 6-inch version of this figure. I don't have him anymore because as soon as this one was announced, I thought, well, this one looks so good that I thought, and I was right, that basically this one, in my opinion, is better than the 6-inch version. It is absolutely stunning. The scaling of it is just perfect. And just the paintwork and everything. Different shades on his helmet. You've got the silver with a little bit of bronzing there. Loads of battle damage all over his armour. Little dinks of silver. Obviously you've got some other bits of armour that have taken from what looks like the Scarif Trooper when he was putting his armour together there. If I just bring you down to his boots, you've got the nice little rocket little things in his boot that he uses in his rifle, which handily snaps onto the back of his back there, which I'll show you how that does that in a minute. It can be a little bit fiddly that, but I'll show you the reasons for that just in a second. But just take in how good that looks. Detailing on his belt there, all those little silver buckles going round. Every little bit of detail on this is just perfect. And I've got to say, this is probably up there in like maybe the top 5 best Vintage Collection figures in my opinion. There's not many that I could think that are better than this. And also obviously to come from such a cool TV show, such a cool character as well. They've done an exceptional job. Obviously he's going to be packed with articulation as well, which I'll just go over in a second, but I just wanted to give you a good look, nice and close up. Now I was a little bit worried about the cape actually being sort of vinyl rather than soft goods, but I just think it works so well there, just draped over his shoulder. Obviously gives space for the gun there to be attached to his back. And it just looks incredible. So happy with this, worth the wait. And I just, you know, obviously I'm pretty sure everyone watching this video will be pre-ordering this, or you might already have it, but I would think that probably 99.9% of you will want this guy in your collection, and absolutely. So he does come with a holster for his little pistol here, which is pretty good. So we're going to take his pistol out of his hand. It does have a trigger hole there, which his finger goes into very nicely indeed. But if you want to put it in the holster, it's a very nice fit as well to give him that sort of Western feel, just like the TV show has, like gunslingers and what have you. So that fits nicely there. Gives you a bit more view of his armour on his legs. Now the gun on the back, it has this little peg here. Now I'll show you the details of the gun in a minute, but that little peg there goes into that little hole there. Now the problem I had with mine is that the hole there doesn't really line up with his back. You have to sort of push that bit of plastic up for his sort of shoulder belt so that the holes line up, and then you'll be able to get that in there. Mine sat a bit low like that. Can you see that? So I was trying to get that in there and it wouldn't go in. So you have to push that bit of plastic up so then you can get that gun in there. Just to give you a good look at his back without his cape. As you can see there, some more detailing on his belt. Absolutely phenomenal. Look at that guy. Crazy, crazy good. In terms of articulation, obviously you're going to get all the articulation you need in a vintage collection figure. The head's on a ball. Loads and loads of range on there. You can do whatever you like in any pose you want with that head, and whichever way you have it, he just looks different each time, you know. Shoulders are on a ball hinge. Now what I have noticed about this figure is that the joints are really, really stiff on my figure. It might not be the same for yours, but obviously that's on a ball, so you've got a swivel there. You've got a swivel at the elbow with a hinge at the elbow. Again, that was really, really stiff. It felt like I was going to break it when I was trying to move it. You've got a hinge in the wrist, which also swivels, of course, as well. Same on the other arm. He does have a torso. So a little ball in there, so you can get him into all sorts of poses. You have ball-jointed hips, which are a little restricted due to his belt, but not too much. You can still get them out because that is vinyl plastic, which does bend slightly, but you won't want to bend that too much, really. You want to leave it nice and flat. You've got a split at the thigh. You've got knee joints. They work really, really nicely. Nowhere near as stiff as the elbows. And of course, you've got a hinge in the ankle with a swivel as well. But just can't get over how good they've made this figure. Absolutely stunning. Now, obviously, the secondary weapon is this long blaster here, which is obviously modelled on the one that he had in the holiday special, the like animated part of the holiday special, with that little sort of hook there on the end. And this is obviously his disintegrator rifle, which he does use in the show. Nice detailing on there. It's like a gunmetal grey. You've got some nice gold flashes on there. Brown stock, which is very nice indeed. And if you want him to hold this, he's got to sort of hold it in his hand like that. And then you can obviously put his other hand like that or something like that. So I haven't really worked out how I'd actually get him into maybe a firing position on there yet, because obviously it's going to be a bit difficult because you haven't got like a handle. You know, he literally just grabs that stock like that. But I'm sure I'll work it out to get him into a good pose. But I quite like having him with it on his back and then the pistol in the hand instead. There you go then, guys. So that is the Mandalorian from the Mandalorian. Thank you very much for watching as usual. If you like this video, don't forget to drop a like down below. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And we shall see you on the next one.